Good evening, you're watching Just the News. I'm Faye. Thank you for joining us. We start today with some good news, which is a nice welcome change from what we've normally had. India crossed the 1 billion dose mark of vaccines today. That's 100 crore vaccine doses that have been administered to citizens of this country. According to the Government of India, 3/4 of the eligible adults, or 75% of all adults in this country, have received at least one dose, and 30% have received 2 doses. The 5 states that have administered the most number of doses to their citizens are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. That's also in line with the population of the states. India's milestone, of course, comes after that terrible second wave which the country went through, which was a terrible time, when we were reporting about 4 lakh fresh infections and 4,000 deaths every day, and the country's health infrastructure was overwhelmed. This is, after all of that, good news on the COVID front. Moving on to the case that everybody's talking about, the case of Aryan Khan in the NDPS Special Court, the Narcotics Court. The court has extended judicial custody for Aryan Khan and others until the 30th of October. Remember, his bail was denied yesterday. He will now, as per the NDPS court judgment, stay in jail until the 30th of October. His lawyers have now approached the Bombay High Court that will hear his bail application on Tuesday, the 26th of October. Now, the thing to remember here is that starting the 1st of November until the 7th of November, even the High Court is closed for Diwali vacations, which means that if Aryan Khan doesn't get, and it seems tight right now, if he doesn't get an order by that time, he will then have to wait until Diwali is over before his case can be heard, or before he gets that order. So his hearing in the Bombay High Court is now on the 26th of October. He was arrested on the 2nd of October. He was detained on the 2nd of October and then arrested soon after, along with his friend Arbas Merchant. And a total of 20 people have now been arrested in connection with that case. In the meantime, actor Ananya Pandey has also been summoned and had appeared before the NCB today. Also, they have seized her cell phone and her laptop, we understand, to retrieve chats between her and Aryan Khan as part of the investigation in this case. According to India Today, NCB DDG Ashok Mutta Jain has said that we've received no communication from Ananya Pandey yet that she's coming in or not. We've summoned her today. She did, of course, go to the NCB. She appeared before the NCB for a couple of hours today, and she was questioned. More rainfall in Kerala right now, accompanied with thunderstorms and lightning that lashed several parts of Kerala on Thursday. The Indian Met Department has issued an orange alert for 8 districts, so that pain is not over just yet. 6 districts have been put on yellow alert. Due to landslides in Idukki and Kottayam district, the Kerala government has started evacuating people residing in landslide-prone areas. District administration has also readied fishermen boats to evacuate people from low-lying areas. The Kerala Chief Minister has said a total of 39 people now have lost their lives and 217 houses have been destroyed completely by landslide. The Revenue Minister of Kerala has said as much as 92% of the rainfall that is normally received during this rain season has been received just in the first 19 days of October. The other state that's undergoing similar pain is Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand Chief Minister told reporters that 3 days of incessant rainfall has caused damage worth 7,000 crore rupees in the state. The death toll has now reached 64 in Uttarakhand. 3,500 people have been rescued and 16,000 people have been evacuated to safer places. Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday conducted an aerial survey of rain-ravaged areas of Uttarakhand. He did say that no tourist has been injured in Uttarakhand during these rains. According to PTI, due to heavy downpour and flooding of the Naini Lake area around Dhobighat and Nainital is experiencing major landslides as well. The Supreme Court today hearing the matter of the farmers and their right to protest on the roads outside of Delhi observed that farmers do have a right to protest, but roads can't be blocked indefinitely. The bench observed, and this is an observation, it's not part of the order, and I quote, ultimately some solution has to be found. We're not against the right to protest even when the legal challenge is pending, but roads cannot be blocked like this. The court was hearing a petition filed by a resident of Noida, Monica Agarwal, urging that protesters be removed from the roads of the National Capital Region as the agitation has led to delays in daily commutes. A few weeks ago, a different petition related to the protest, the Supreme Court bench had objected to the protest, saying that the farm laws have been legally challenged in the Supreme Court, and when one party approaches the court, the question is why then protest? A look at our COVID numbers. India has recorded 18,454 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. Kerala's numbers dropped again to about 8,733 new cases in the last 24 hours. As COVID cases begin to decline, Uttar Pradesh now has lifted its night curfew, which was imposed from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. According to official figures, Uttar Pradesh reported 11 new COVID cases on Wednesday. There are total active 112 new active cases in the state, which is wonderful given the population of that state. So moving on now to news coming in from the world of business. Of course, can't go anywhere forward without taking a look at what's happening to petrol and diesel prices. They have been hiked again. Now, this is a hike. This is a second straight hike. It's the 13th hike in the month of October, the 32nd hike in the last couple of months. It's gone up now by 25 paise. So the price as it stands in Mumbai for petrol is 112 rupees and 44 paise, the highest among the metro cities. Diesel is retailing in Mumbai at 103 rupees and 26 paise. In Delhi, it costs 106 rupees and 54 paise for a litre of petrol, and diesel is at 95 rupees and 27 paise. Meanwhile, Uttar Pradesh Minister Upendra Tiwari defended the petrol price hikes and said it's okay because 95% of the population of the country doesn't need petrol. According to ANI, Mr. Tiwari said the government has given free COVID vaccines to 100 crore people. It's given free treatments for COVID, distributed medicines door to door. If you compare with other states, then the fuel prices haven't been raised that much in Uttar Pradesh and in the country. As petrol and diesel prices, there are only a handful of people who use four-wheelers who need petrol. Currently, 95% of the people in the society do not need petrol, he said. Of course, the worrying thing about Mr. Upendra Tiwari of Uttar Pradesh's BJP is that he obviously does not understand, and he's a minister, he doesn't understand that diesel is used by every single citizen of this country, because all the food, all the milk, all the medicines, the water in many cases, the LPG is brought into our homes on the backs of diesel trucks. So to assume that only people with four-wheelers or the rich people need petrol and diesel is a complete fallacy. In fact, most of the people in our country have two-wheelers, and two-wheelers run exclusively on petrol and not on diesel. Meanwhile, Hindustan Petroleum HPCL chairperson and MD Mukesh Surana has said the current high crude oil prices could lead to demand destruction in the long term. Taking a look now at news coming in from across the world. The US Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has now authorized booster shots of Moderna vaccines and Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine. The regulator has said that any three authorized vaccines, which is Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, which is in the US, can be used as boosters in a mix and match approach. So it doesn't matter what the initial vaccine was that you had taken. If you live in the US, you can take a booster shot of any vaccine that's available. However, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention will consult with an expert panel later this week before finalizing official recommendations on who should get those booster shots and when. One piece of positive news before we leave you for today. Hyderabad residents Aniket Narayan, Murari Kumar Raja and Parataj James have launched a company called Habitat Incorporated, which provides co-living spaces for members of the LGBTQI community. Now, the trio were apparently inspired by how people live in community in the West and how in India that's not possible because of the stigma just yet. So currently, India has what it's called the Gay Housing Assistance Resource, or GHAR, which lists properties that are LGBTQI friendly, so people can go and rent there. Habitat goes one step further and provides a co-living space, which is a great relief for the community because they normally face a lot of issues when finding homes with their partners. That is, of course, good news to end the day on. So we started with good news and we ended with good news, so that's a nice thing. Let me give you your quick quiz question for today. I did tell you, of course, what the hike in petrol and diesel prices are for just today. Could you tell us what that hike is? Give us your answer in the comment section. Also, at 8 p.m., we have a conversation that will be uploaded on our YouTube page that will go live. It's a conversation between the former head of the Narcotics Bureau and a very senior lawyer in the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about the multiple seizures of drugs from various boats in the Indian Ocean amounting to 31,000 crore rupees, which should worry many national investigating agencies in India. And we're going to wonder if that's something we're being distracted by, and what the investigation and progress is on those cases, really. That's going up at 8 o'clock. Do take a look at that as well. Thank you for watching. Good night.